Super Dave here with another review. Super Dave here with another exciting review, and today we're going to be looking at a MOTU Classics figure that I've been anticipating. I won him on eBay just a couple of months ago, and I've looked forward to this review. It's time to get your nunchucks and your fisticuffs, or whatever you karate chops, out, and let's get ready to look at Ninja Warrior. And this is not the made popular in Japan show of running through an obstacle course.
Yes! Yes! She's done it! History has been made! She's done it! Look at the cheers of joy!
This is MOTU Classics villain Ninja Warrior. He comes in that traditional mailer box, and then when you pull him out, wow, what an awesome character. He comes in that traditional blister card with the Masters of the Universe logo and his name, Ninja Warrior, and it says Evil Ninja Master. Then it says in a little graphics bubble over here, uses special ninja weapons to chop down foes. All right, so there is our action figure. There are the other selling points, some amazing characters as well. And there's that bio card. If you want to pause and read that, you can now. Let me tell you some interesting things about this Ninja Warrior. He also goes by the name Ninjor. I mean, what is it about MOTU that has to put or at the end of everything? Skeletor, Stinkor, and Mosquitor. Well, we have Ninjor. Makes sense. But he goes in, Skeletor sends Ninjor in advance because he's a master at many of the martial arts, the long sword, the bow, and nunchucks and various things with his hands. So he's great with that. He's a lethal weapon, his body. And so Skeletor sends him in to the battle against the masters in advance to pick them off. He's stealthy. He sneaks in and picks off the enemy one by one so that he can get fewer MOTU, fewer masters out of the way. So when Skeletor and his minions move in, they'll be at a greater advantage. So that's one of Ninjor's functions. But here's another one. He doesn't actually work for Skeletor. Ultimately, he works for Horde Prime. He reports some of the weaknesses that he's observed in Skeletor. Very interesting. So let's go over to the review booth and check out this Ninja Warrior, Ninjor, a little closer. And here we are in the review booth with our Ninjor. And the first thing that we see he comes with is a set of nunchucks, and they are cool, but they are plastic. They do not have real metal or anything like Amthro's nunchucks, but they will do. They will work. They are bendable, so you could probably still get some good poses. It does look like it would have been a little better if the nunchucks had been a little longer so that you could get some better poses with it, I think. But you do get some nunchucks, and they are bendable, so soft, rubbery plastic. The next accessory that Ninjor comes with is this bow and arrow set. Not a whole lot of detail, just a shiny plastic, no paint really. It's just, not a whole lot of detail again, but it is a cool accessory. Not in today's standards with what you're seeing coming out with Marvel Legends and things, but Old Man Hawkeye, I know he's getting ready to come out. It's going to have a really neat looking bow and arrow set, I believe. But for MOTU, and this figure was, made several years ago, it's a really cool set. Third accessory that Ninjor comes with is this little backpack quiver holding thing. It plugs right into the back of his back. Has a little place here that you can also store his bow and arrow set. So that you can store his bow and arrow set. Just plugs right into the back after you plug that into his back there. So you see how that works. Plus, there's a little holder on the side, and there's a fourth accessory, a nice long sword, which he's also an expert in using. So you have the long sword that comes along with that, with this set. So that is just really cool. He comes with a lot of accessories. I think in today's standards, you'd almost call this a Ultimates figure. He also comes with this little towelette or waist turban band thing that goes around his waist. But it's really got some neat details, some really oriental features to it with the gold and the red and the tassels. And then on the front, the rope. I'm not sure exactly what this is called, but it's really cool. We'll have to figure out how this goes on him. Oh, I see. It actually snaps apart. There's a little place. Yep, there's a little place that actually snaps apart right there. That's the way you can put it around his waist, and then it snaps back together. And that little peg there, once you get around him. So we'll try that on later when we take a closer look. And then last but certainly not least, Ninjor comes with an alternate head, an unmasked head. See what I mean by Ultimates? Isn't that neat? That big ponytail whooshing out back there. This is actually when he's in action, because that ponytail is whooshing back there as he's in action, running or chopping or fighting, with those red eyes and that grimacing look. So this is him in non-stealth mode, face to face to his enemies. All right, let's take a look at Ninjor's articulation. You see that Ninjor is joining the ranks back there with all the other ninjas in my collection, and or I would say ninja and martial arts style, even Whiplash. You know, he's got that tail action going on. But let's look at Ninjor's articulation. He goes up about that much, which is a good amount. It blocks a little bit with that little collar on his vest. He can look down. He can look down quite a bit. He can, of course, look side to side. He is able to look, he also has some tilting, some attitude. So that's pretty cool. That looks good. He's going to be able to get some attitude going on there. So that's nice. And this vest is kind of hindering, but he still gets a decent amount of ab crunch forward and is able to bend back pretty good. It doesn't really hinder that part of it. As far as his arms, of course, he can go 360, bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, just swivel at the wrist, swivel at the waist, does full splits. He's able to kick about that far forward, about that far back. He has single jointed knees. He does have boot cut, and he has good range of motion on his feet, but not really much in the rocker department. That was before they really got into the, you know, giving us some nice rocker in the joint there, the pivoting in the ankles. But there you have him. Now, one thing I will mention personally that I was disappointed about, I thought that this knife came out. I did. All this time it looked like it was a loose piece that would be able to pull out, that was like a sheath and you could pull that out, but unfortunately not. Now, I'm not sure if the white one that they made as a PowerCon exclusive a couple of years ago does that or not. Somebody have to share with me. I have to research that closer, because I really thought this one did. But anyway, let's take a closer look at Ninjor with his accessories installed. So first of all, let's pop off this head. It's really tight. And let's pop on this head to see what he looks like. Wow, that head is very tight on him. I had to use the hairdryer to get it on there. But he's still able to do about the same amount of articulation with this head sculpt. Yep, pretty much. But it's just really tight on there. But check that out. He looks really mean and menacing with that head sculpt on. He's in action. Whipping that ponytail around. He is meaning business there. All right, let's go ahead and install his quiver that holds his, you know what, the ponytail's gonna block that. So, I'm gonna have to take this head back off. But that's all right. Let's see if this one goes back on easier. Both of those heads are hard to get on. You have to use force to really get that on, but you use the hairdryer trick and it helps. All right, heating it up a little bit. But that plugs in his backpack area right there. It's a little crooked, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so it goes sideways. That's why. It goes sideways. And of course you can put this sword so that it fits however looks best there, and then this can go right in there. So he's got the ability to store quite a bit of his accessories like that. And so let's take a look at that. Yeah, it was hard, almost impossible to get that on with that alternate head on because the ponytail kind of blocks it. But there, let's give him a spin and show you what he looks like there with all of his accessories installed. All right, so as he's coming back around here, we're gonna go ahead and try strapping on this other part, but I am gonna have to remove that backpack because as I have tried, you'll knock it off trying to get it on. Let's go ahead and raise his arms out here and try this loincloth piece. All right, it took quite a bit of effort to get that tassel reconnected and that peg over here. As you can see the break there where it comes in and it pegs right back in. I had to soften it up with the hair dryer and kind of keep working it until I could get that peg through the hole completely flush so that it didn't stick out or it was too loose. You see this right here is built into the this part that goes over the buck here, so that kind of gets in the way. And this is removable, by the way. You can take these tabs off back here and remove that top piece, but then if you do, you can't put the backpack and the sword and all that together with it. So just keep that in mind. But this part is difficult to get on, but once you get that on, if you want to go ahead and deck him out with the rest of his accessories here, you certainly can. Go ahead and put his quiver and his bow and his arrows and his long sword on there, and then let's go ahead and get his nunchucks in place here. They'll slide right in those open hands, which is nice. Go ahead and get this one up here, slide that in there, and you see he's got the monster feet, kind of like Skeletor, and even the monster fins on his arms. But there you have him, folks. He is pretty awesome to look at. Check him out. And those other martial artists back there in the background, they're ready to say, all right, Ninjor, when you're man enough, come on back here and we'll fight you. We got quite a few martial artists back there in the background that are ready for Ninjor. But he just looks amazing. He is great. I wasn't so sure I wanted this guy. Didn't know how much a ninja fit in with the MOTU and medieval and, you know, mythos of the masters. But I have to say, I really think this character is cool. I love how he's decked out. I am disappointed the knife isn't removable on his chest. But overall, I give this character an 8 out of 10. I think he's great. I'm enjoying him, and I can't wait to pose him for some pictures here in just a moment for you to enjoy. But go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you for joining us today on this Super Dave Fun Review. God bless you.